I do have is I can take the medical clinic and place it here, and that way we have some more scope for symmetry. It's just barely enough space for it to be there. And oh, would you look at that? I have people skiing. Oh, okay, those were patients. Those were patients of the health clinic that just floated over to the other clinic. Oh, if your patients are floating in the air, then they have something that the clinic cannot fix. Oh, but would you look at that? It's winter and it's snowing. Yeah, it's snowing all the way from the start of October itself. Nice. So that's October, November, and December. 3 months at least of snowing at the end of the year. And I guess it will stop snowing in February, given how quick it started snowing here. So we're gonna have like 5 months of just snow. And that would also mean that our electricity consumption would go up. I didn't check how much it was before it was snowing, but we are still producing enough electricity to let it be traded outside. Although I do see the sliders shift to the left, so the consumption definitely is increasing, which is fine. We have a lot to spare and we are making quite a lot of money. We are already making $1 million per month. I did not even realize. That was very quick in this game. The last time I played on normal mode, it took a lot of time. I think it took like 2 years for me to get to 1 million, which could also mean that I'm doing better here. But yeah, not having to pay service style upkeeps definitely helps. There's this weird slope here that I can fix in a while. But in the meantime, I should think of what I want to do with this area. So this here, I want it to be like a tourist attraction center. So it will have like a lot of parks, a lot of walkways, a lot of trees and stuff that goes out into the beach. And then for there to be a beach here, for which I can unlock the tourism node. I just realized I have like 29 development points left to spend. So I'm gonna unlock the full tree here. That's gonna set us back by a lot of points, but it will be worth it. And in the meantime, I can get a telecom tower unlocked, so that will help with the offices. Apart from that, I guess we could unlock a university. I don't think we still have enough population to require a university just yet, and I haven't even built a high school, let alone a college. So I'll refrain from going about that way just yet. And in the meantime, I guess we can unlock intersections, because I did wanna fix this part of the town once the traffic is done moving in, which actually we ended up spending all of our points very efficiently. I'm pretty impressed with what we did. Leafy Greens is still struggling. I've literally placed it inside the... Is it because it's not getting enough material in? Is that the reason? Like, we don't have enough grain being produced from our farms? I'm a little confused. I'm gonna have to look it up online, or maybe one of you guys can let me know in the comments if you know why that's happening. On the good side of news, we do have a city that is extremely happy. We are within walking distance of the elementary school, which is why I placed it here. So almost the entire community can walk to it, and we do have 700 students going there, so that's a good thing. The next thing I'm gonna do is upgrade the education sector of our city by adding a high school. Which high school should I add? We have the Netherlands High School that has 2.5k in student population. Can be modernized with a chemistry lab, as well as a large extension wing for more capacity. The chemistry lab is nice. The extension wing I don't really care about. The normal high school, we have a sports field and a library. That is attractive. I want my students to have access to both, like play physical sports, and for library, both training their body and their mind. What else do we have? We have City High School, which can be upgraded with extension floor and a rooftop sports park. Not necessary right now. Modern High School, we have mindfulness room. That's good. Additional teaching building and a student dormitory. Urban high school, it can be upgraded with the extension wing, a gym including a pool and a basketball court. These are all good options. So the urban high school has less upkeep, which not a big difference. I think I'm in favor of having a sports field and a library. So I'm gonna play. Oh, that is a big building. I'm gonna need to place it over here just so we have enough space for it. I don't know how realistic it is to have the high school right next to the elementary school, and also I do need to rebuild the place over here into like a proper highway and internal roads. So I'm just going to relocate the building here, which relocation does not have cost in the easy mode. It almost feels like I have too much power, like barely anything costs money in the easy mode, and I have a lot of ways of making money. So it feels like I'm like playing the game on cheats. It feels like criminal to be making this so much money so early on in the game, but can't complain. It's a good thing. Okay, let's get started with trying to create a highway here. I'm gonna let this part of the road stay because I don't really know how to refactor something like this. But yeah, from here onwards we can have an actual highway that goes onwards to the rest of the, like, to the road ahead, and then have these internal roads that are meant to be splitting into the rest of our town. Okay, wait, temporarily I'll just move it here, and then I can relocate it if I feel the need to. I'm gonna place this one over here, and the roads are still big enough on the outskirts of our town that we should not have any problem letting the dispatch vehicles reach where they need to. Okay, so now my citizens are also complaining about packages not being delivered on time. That is something I should worry about too. Let me delete this entire road, and then do I want it to go above the city or below the city? If I let it go above, then I can still make use of this place to add something, maybe like under the bridge playground or stuff like that. If I make it go underneath the city, then I can create a bunch of roads that link both sides of the town with each other, which will also be beneficial, instead of like letting this be the blocker for reaching the city from one place to another, which I can also do even if it's like a road that's going above. I guess above wins because it's simply the better option, and also as the road goes here, it anyway will have to go above, so I'm gonna need to create a slope from underground going up above, which could be possible, but it would be awkward. So let's just work with this. Okay, I did unlock intersections so I can use them in here. Is there any intersection I can make use of that helps ease up things a little bit?
Nope, 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 nope. Fine. I'll do it myself.
In that case, I want to cut this road up a little bit. Okay, that just deleted it completely. Just extend it just a little bit, and then use this as the reference to create two highways that extend from it. Is that a natural slope? I don't know. I could make it slightly bigger to make the slope little less steep, like this, and then let it continue forward from there. Just confirm this, and then let it go almost straight out of the city like this, and then it can start curving once it reaches outside. like this, and then it can continue going like this into the other side of the city. I'm wondering if it even needs to curve, because there's a mountain here and I don't think I'm gonna let the highway go that way. It should ideally go like this, and then over here I can create like an intersection which allows traffic to go to the rest of the area, so it doesn't even need to curve. I can delete this last part and let it continue over the city in an almost straight fashion, and then I can create another node that links to this side of the road, and then keep going forward normally. And then I'm just gonna reverse the direction of this one like so. Something is weird here. What is weird? Oh, okay, I mixed up the directions. I have left-handed traffic and I forgot to make it like that. Cool. Now we just need to fix this weird looking intersection here, which looks weird because we have 3 lanes on each side, which is also why it looks weird in here. So what we can do is we can downsize this into a medium road, because I doubt we need the 6 lanes that we have over there. I can just try to adjust these highways that are going in and out of it, and I can turn off snapping. Cool. So that that takes care of the highway being not interrupted by the inner roads. And now the problem is we need a way to both connect the electricity back to our city, which I can do by creating a underground connection, filling the gap in our grid. Similarly for sewage and water supply, that's not an issue. What I do want is to create ways for traffic to go into a city from here instead of having to climb up necessarily, which is where I get confused at on like how to do so. So one simple fix that I could do is to create a highway intersection over here, something like a lane that's going out and then out here and here and then connects around here. Similarly, one lane then goes out there, goes in and connects here, and then in here I have a medium 4-lane road that extends at ground level. Okay, it's too big for the pillars, so I'm gonna try to create it from here and see if I can connect it somehow. Okay, not feasible. I'm gonna try to take snapping away and then just create one that extends out here like this, and then the highways that I have can then connect to it. Now I have snapping back on, can make it snap back to this road, and then similarly create a outside lane that snaps here. Wait, what am I doing? Why am I creating a one-way alley? And then I can try to add a roundabout in there, something like that. So now there is a way to get in and out of the city through this road. I could do one thing. I could just extend the length of these highways and make them go sort of like this, so I can still have a road in between my city for city services to exist. Or I can just like create a few intersections between the two sides of my town and then create common buildings there. First, let me resume the game and see if the solution that I have even works to begin with. The one problem I can see here is vehicles making a sort of illegal right turn in here. That is not something I want. For the time being, I can create a symmetric highway over here and then convert this into 2 lanes that are getting into the city, so there's more space for vehicles to get in, which I guess is a problem of the road that I have in here. So I could try to convert this into a medium sized road, but that would mean it's intersecting with the pillars, so I do need to spread the highways out a little bit more. Something like this. So yeah, vehicles that are going up will have to go through a bit of a curve to reach where they want to, but it still leaves enough ground clearance for the roads beneath it. We still have this weird lane stuff over here. I'm not sure if I need to increase the size of my roundabout, or is it something to do with the road that I've used in here. Okay, yeah, it has to do with the road. Yeah, right, I wanted to replace this with a medium sized road, which I completely forgot to do. Let me first and foremost make that into a bigger road, and then I can go ahead and add the roundabout in again. So now we have 2 lanes that are going into the city, and that should eventually at least clear out the problems that we have. The other thing I wanted to do was to try to remove the traffic light from here, so vehicles that come into the city don't face a traffic light immediately at this part. Like, they can just keep going ahead and then spread out to wherever they want to go, which is why I was trying to make this into a one-way, but I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I can try it out. Where is my road services? I see. Make it so that it's the stop signs instead of a traffic light. That would also mean that vehicles are stopping here for no reason. So I can just try removing the traffic light here. And at least right now that we do not have any major traffic flowing in and out of the city, we can trust the citizens to make their decisions. And would you look at that, we have a nice little roundabout, nice way in and out of the city, and all of the traffic that was trying to move into the city has stopped. So now we have no traffic issues either, and we have a uninterrupted highway that can continue going forth. Cool. Now is when we can think of bringing these services back inside like this, so they have easier access to the rest of the city. And this is also the point where I can think of like trying to merge the two city blocks we have with a few more connecting roads. The only problem is that these grids are not aligned, so any type of intersection I try to create will just create extra intersections in either of the road, which is a ugly solution, but it is the only solution we have if we do want to create intersections. So I'm just gonna try to equalize it. So this one aligns with this road, I can make this one align with this road. And I think I don't think this one is needed. I guess these two should suffice for the time being, and then we can have some gap for the rest of the city. And then the police station can be somewhere that helps it reach both places easier. So I'm just gonna move it a little bit towards the intersection, so now they can go both here and here like the route we just saw suggested. And then similarly for the medical clinic, I can move it in over here. Something is overlapping. Oh, there's a pillar that's overlapping with it. Maybe I can move it here, or maybe in between those two pillars. Nope, it's too big. I guess I can keep it on this side. I guess there is an asymmetric gap between this side and this side of the highway, which is ugly for sure, but I can try to move it a little bit. Use the replace tool without snapping to try to move it a little further up, just to create an extra tile of space there. So yeah, there we have it, and we have a mostly straight, mostly level highway. I'm just actually now realizing that the highways are a little up and down, but that is something we can fix later. What I do have is I can take the medical clinic and place it here, and that way we have some more scope for symmetry. It's just barely enough space for it to be there. And oh, would you look at that, I have people skiing. Oh, okay, those were patients. Those were patients of the health clinic that just floated over to the other clinic. Oh, if your patients are floating in the air, then they have something that the clinic cannot fix. But yeah, good to have this, and good to know we still have an overabundance of electricity production even in winters. So people have enough electricity to run their heaters to stay warm in the minus 9 degrees Celsius temperature. Our lakes aren't frozen, we still have those, and we still have fishes. So we have people hard at work doing fishing out here, and that's a lot of area to fish in. So I think we have close to 120 tons of fish, which is really good to have. I think we're doing pretty good on this side. So yeah, this is a good place for me to go ahead and manually save. I do have autosave, but I don't trust it much. A lot of times I have lost progress while relying on autosave. And that's a wrap for this video, guys. Trying out something different, keeping the content shorter, makes it easier to edit and put out, probably also makes it easier to watch and digest. So if that works, and if you like this video, you know what to do. Help me out in the algorithm, and up until the next video where we get a lot of other developments done, as you can see in the sneak peek here, which I'm excited to share with you guys. Peace out.